today being a morning and a youth program, today we're going to focus to do a youth program that is referred to as a focus program as Emmanuel Youth. This is a program that entitles us to engage our young members in the church to be able to participate in the church. Before we continue, I want us first of all to have a word of prayer, and then as we continue, let us pray. God Almighty Father, we come before you, giving you thanks and praise that you've given us this program, this time on this program, that you're able to minister as young people through your word, Almighty Father, and everything that we are going to have. In everything that you're going to discuss and talk this morning, may your Holy Spirit come with us and guide us through. We pray this in Jesus Christ. Amen. We're going to discuss on a topic on youth commitment to the church. Investing in the youth today in the church is very necessary, and the youth presence in the church must be felt. But there are some factors that really hinder that proper engagement of youth in the church. And for that matter, as we come in to discuss our topic on youth commitment in the church, I have my fellow panelists here who are going to guide us today in elaborating much more on this topic on youth focus today. On my right side, I have Madam Gikuhe, who is a psychologist and a mom and a parent, who is also going to assist us more in elaborating on the issues of the youth commitment in the church. Welcome today, Madam. On my left here, I have Paul, who is also a youth member in the church. Also Paul, he's so much been involved in the youth programs at the church, and for that matter he's going to give us much more understanding about issues of proper commitment to youth. Welcome to Paul. So welcome all of you to the program. First of all, Madam, some of the factors, you're going to look at, you can tell us some of the factors that really can hinder youth participation in the church, and then maybe we can start from there.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you for this opportunity. I've been talking to youth, to teens, and also being a mother to teens. There's some things also I've been observing what has been happening. I've come up with some few points, and maybe my fellow panelists can also contribute to that. And one is the discontent among the age generation. We find that we are having people who are in their teens, we are having people who are in their 30s, their 40s, 50s, 60s in the church. That is one issue. The other thing is lack of finances. The other thing is identity crisis. And this is a challenge to our church, and maybe the elders and the leaders can look at this. The identity crisis, we find we have people who are not yet teens. Below 13 years, we usually call them twins, TWEEN. You find they are misplaced, they are nowhere. You come to the teens and the youth, you find that there are people who are in their 17, they don't have their ID, and maybe they are being called the youth. So that is something that the church should look at. And also marriage. According to our country and also the PCA church, youth are described as between 18 to 35 years. And in fact, people even who are 35 years, they have families. In other countries like the UN, the youth are described from 14 to 25 years. The Commonwealth countries, 15 to 29 years. Our neighbor here in Uganda, 19 to 35 years. And Malaysia, 15 years to 40 years. So we should also look at that, because marriage, you are a mother, maybe you are 30. You are a mother, you are a wife, you are a church leader. So you should be encouraged, we should know how to approach this so that they can balance all this. The other issue is the mass media. Mass media. Everybody knows what is happening in our media. There is the good and the bad about this. And also there is the bad expectation, the flagship. I thank God we have our two youths here. Today we are fighting, I fight Gidendi, I fight Paul with a girl. Instead of even of greeting them, I go and look for another lady and we start backbiting Gidendi. As you are married, how did we get married? We had boyfriends, we have girlfriends. Can we believe? Let us not go backstabbing them. Actually, we should go and approach them and also greet them, and you'll feel appreciated. and maybe I can post them, maybe I can give it to the venue of God to add some points.
So thank you very much. You gave just a little very basic points, especially about the age of the youth, for the church to be very definite about who they deal with in the church and coming up with the problem. Paul, you have what Madam said in terms of the factors that really need, and you as a youth leader in the church and how you really participated in this young people in the church. What can you say, some of the factors as you also added onto what Madam Lucia said, the issues that really affect youth in the church?
Okay, actually, she has actually said what is right and actually what is actually affecting the youth. And one of the most important things she has mentioned, being an expert and actually a psychologist in this area, is that there is the issue of identity. And they find that if something or somebody is not aware of whom or who they are not really able to identify what they really want in this life. So I think being able to identify what the youth want and being able to guide them through the right path, through the people who have been there, that is actually the most important thing that actually the church leadership and actually the people who are before, like the parents, they should also be a guiding factor to their teens and to their youth, and actually to what they should do. And then moving forward, the parents, I think they also play a critical role. The guardians themselves also play a critical role in actually molding these things. You cannot tell me to do a particular thing, but you are doing the contrary. You need to lead by example. Show me this is how it's supposed to be done. Then we'll be able to move forward. I feel like most youths, when I talk to them and when we interact with them, they tell you that why should I not do a particular thing when I see my dad doing it, I see my mom doing it. So to me, it's not wrong. So I'll also continue doing it. So I think, as she has said, the issue of being able to the youth themselves to identify themselves and being able to understand what they want is actually very important. And moving forward is that, as she has said, is that being able to appreciate them with their own mistakes and being able to correct them in a good way, not actually criticizing them, and through that we'll be able to move forward. Yes.
Very good points that you really made. And some of the points that I've taken is one in terms of identity crisis among the young people in serving the Lord, and also issues to do with proper mentorship. Being a psychologist and a psychiatrist and also being a mom, especially in our church, in terms of crisis, identity crisis and mentorship, what can you really advise?
When it comes to mentorship is very key. Not only to the youths, not only to the teens, even to the elderly. Even those who are having their families, those who are beyond the bracket of 35. And for me, I'm so passionate about the mentorship of youths, and I have classified them in 3 bases. One is educational, the other is about health and safety, and the other one is about social and emotional development. When it comes to education, mentorship is about educating. And when we come to educating, like maybe we have seminars, we have fun days, we have that setup where the youths, they can speak freely. I remember there's a time we had the brigade, and there is a young man who came to me and he asked me, imagine my phone fell down and it broke. And so every time I tell my dad about it, he quarrels me, he shouts at me. So he was asking me, how can I be able to approach my dad? And so we spoke with him, because as counselors, whether we don't give solutions, the solutions is with you. If you find a counselor who is giving you solution to a need, that's a guidance. Because in counseling, the solution is with the client. So we sat with the boy and I taught him how to go about it. So when we have the mentorship, there is that attendance. And attendance, you hear various issues from other people, and you see it is not only you who is in that. Also in mentorship, there is the better chance of going to a higher. When we talk today about self-esteem, next time you hear there is some seminar about maybe premarital counseling because of the youth, you'll be looking forward to that because you get something from that. And also there is you have a better attitude. you are useless. And somebody told you the other day, you are very important. You'll be able to tell this person, I'm not useless, I'm very important. When we go to the issue of health and safety, these are programs about the substance use and also the delinquent behaviors. You know, substance use, it is not only taking beer, even other funny behaviors. You find maybe you are sick, you're not feeling well. Even for us, big adults, we usually abuse substance. Why? You've been told by the doctor you take 3. Instead of taking 3, you take 4. You are abusing drugs. And now when you find a teenager or a youth abusing drugs, you start criticizing him or her. The other thing, when we have the health and safety of these children, there is a promise that they can be able to do away with drugs. You know, we have a tendency of being so judgmental, the hurry and thou attitude. When you find somebody who is misusing drugs, what do? As Christians born again, tunasema huyo ni wa shetani. Nani alikwambia wewe kazi yako ni kwenda kujaji watu? You don't know what that person goes and tell God in the evening. You find somebody doing other funny behaviors. You start pointing at him or her. Why can't you talk to that person if he or she is willing to listen? And also, it also helps them to improve their self-worth. Like now we are having this pandemic of COVID-19. You know, when you sit down and you tell them you put on masks, like now we have masks who are here. But in the house, when your kids are going to play, we are being told, kids were told to close school so that they can stay at home. Lakini naona wazazi wengine wanaruhusu watoto wao waende huko nje kucheza. Why can't you buy them a ball? Why can't you buy them a skipping rope? You can be doing these exercises. Like me and my family, we've bought a rope. We are skipping, the boy is playing the ball with him. Na ile imetutali sana. Hii inaitangwa ati hii ya kuzungusha. Imagine tumeshindwa na babake. What is it? You know, I got challenged. So these are the things we should do, you know, at this particular time. And even when the COVID is going to end, because it is going to end, let us continue with this. I believe people are so happy being together, but also we should pray for families. There are families who are fighting. We've had cases of domestic violence. We have had cases of rape. You know, there's so much that is happening because people are not united. So, we also know that that point is about the social and emotional development. In this, it is mentoring programs. They are driven more by the needs and interest of the youth rather than the expectation from the volunteers. You know, when we call for mentorship, let it be for our own children. Even for us, we are going to learn and we are going to go away far. And also, when we meditate, it's always good to have a follow-up. And also as a church, when we're having, like now, in the PCA church, it is okay. We usually have one week for the youth. They have one Sunday per year. I think I thank God for our elder Boro is here. We should be having other Sundays when the youth, they can lead the whole service. Even the studying our elders, I don't know whether it is appropriate, but maybe it can be discussed. Even we can have Gedenji today to stand here and ask for the Sadaka, but the elder can pray for that. So these are the things that are going to help the youth to feel that they are wanted. They belong to where they are. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good point. Youth engagements in the church and participation in the church. And I believe she's also again a very good point that this engagement will always start from home. If our parents are able to engage our youth from home, and then they're able to fight that identity crisis, such that when they come to church, they become part and parcel of the program in the church. Now, talking about issues of programs and fellowship in the church, Paul, you've also been a very good leader in this church. You've seen a lot of youth fellowship programs and issues to do with how the youth are involved and how also they interact with one another. And one of the most important thing that has really come out is about issues to do with judgmental attitudes. Maybe you can just tell us issues to do with how the church can come up with proper fellowship programs for these young people and also how these young people can relate to one another for them to be feeling actively being part of the church service.
From what I've observed, and I'm not speaking from an expert point of view, I'm speaking from what I've observed and what I've heard most youth speak. You find that when it comes to fellowships and judgment and being judgmental, it goes in hand. For instance, you cannot be able to go on a fellowship when your fellow youth is maybe judgmental to you. or maybe your parents is judgmental to you. And when it comes to such fellowships, they need to be strong in such a way that they are structured in a way that the youths are being empowered on things that they are supposed to do in the church. For instance, they can be given their own programs and leaders on what they are supposed to do. But if the youth are not given that opportunity to do their own fellowships, in the sense that they are viewed because that they are not be responsible, that will not work well. It's good to have those what we call checks and balances, but at the same time, these checks and balances should not appear in the sense that they are undermining the youth when it comes to undertaking their programs. On my next point, you find that when it comes to the fellowships, the youth themselves need to also be people who empower one another. Right? Like for instance, one youth is not going in the right way. Maybe one youth is maybe involved in drugs. Maybe their relationships are not working well. You find that the same fellowships, they are the fellowship that they discuss, or they try to undermine a particular youth that they are not going in the right way. These fellowships should be fellowship that you come together, you empower one another in the sense that you're able to empower each other to the self-realization, and each and every youth being able to realize their goal or dream. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. Fellowship, church, understanding the youth's talents. Because that's a very good point that you really mentioned here. Since you're finding like in our churches, a lot of young people are do have talents that they can easily present to the church. In our discussion of seeing issues to do with proper involvement and fellowship and judgmental attitude towards the church and towards the youth, please, can you emphasize more on the issues, some of the issues that maybe to do with church involvement and talents in the church?
Thank you, Benji. And there's also another point that is very key. I've observed for quite some time. We should change now from using the passive language to active language. What do I mean by this? Every time our youth are called here to make a presentation, the comments are usually, when you're young, serve God. I usually ask myself, when I get old, will I stop serving God? The Bible says in the book of Psalms 92, verse 14. I'll start from 12. Psalms 92, 12. The righteous will flourish like a palm tree. They'll grow like a cedar of Lebanon. Planted in the house of the Lord, they'll flourish in the courts of our God. They will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay fresh and green. Why am I saying this? You know, every time we should be telling our youth, even when they grow old, they'll be able to serve God. Because being new, it's only that you have a lot of vigor than when you are old. So let us change this. Let us not be telling our youth, serve God when you are young, because it's like we live, because it's like there's some doubt. So what we should say, in every state that you are in life, serve God as if there is no tomorrow. And also something else that I want to add and also to congratulate. I thank God for this pandemic that has affected our nation and the world over, because we have seen something that has never happened in our church. The use of social media, yes, the use of the website, live stream that will be happening, and I hope this is not going to end. This will encourage the youth to be coming to church. And also there is something that has been happening, and there is already the chairperson of the youth. She has been using what we call music therapy. The way the youth are dancing to a song. For us, we could see as if it is funny, but it is not funny. The dancing, because they are dancing to a Christian song, it was very encouraging. I hope it can come back, because when you use music therapy, it makes even, it warms you, and also even you see people, they are humming towards that. So I think that is what we can do to empower our youth to have the capacity building through the mentorship, and also provision of efficient administrative support essentials. Like even we can provide them with laptops, even if it is one, we can give them printers if we can afford. And I hope this is not going to be the end of what environment for them, and this one will go a long way. You know, our youth are not leaving our churches because they don't belong here. It is because maybe they go to other churches. There is so much that is happening. You know, they are being encouraged. The youth are being involved. They have youth ministers who are able to mentor them, and they're given that freedom to do what is right in the church. Thank you.
Wow, that was very insightful. Yeah? The church should innovate ways in which to try and tap talent, and also use technology to try and bring this youth into fellowship with Jesus Christ. That's what we do. Now we're coming to a conclusion, and I want to each and every person of you to just give a conclusion mark on the way forward. How can the church involve the youth in terms of making them be committed towards church services and also coming together in fellowship to the youth? Paul, now can you just give us a final conclusion on the way forward?
On the way forward, first of all, we need to appreciate the ideas that the youth are putting forth. I find most of the forums, they do not give youth an opportunity to raise their opinion of what they think about. And there's this thing that says that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but actually the youth are the leaders of today. Because if you don't teach them today, then they will become the leaders of tomorrow. So moving forward, as a youth, to be more participative in church activities and to be more proactive in what they do in the church, and also to impacting on other youths in positive behavior and achieving their dreams. There needs to be a well-structured engagement in the church on how youth are going to be fully captured and be given the due attention that they deserve, so that we can be able to bring as many youths as possible in the church. We find most of them are if they do not find guidance in the church, there is somewhere else they will also offered other guidance that is not in accordance to the ways that is going to lead them towards achieving their targets and goals. Because in this world there is the good and the evil. And if the church does not stand in the gap, then they will have faith in their task.
Thank you so much. Now to your final conclusion.
Yes. Okay, to my final conclusion, as a church, even not only a church, even in our homes, it is good to encourage our youth, to encourage them to volunteer. Like maybe we can even in our homes, we can be sitting down and telling them, tomorrow what activities, what chores do you want to do in the house tomorrow, particularly this time that you're at home. They volunteer. They come up with their own ideas. One can say, I'll do the dishes, the other one can say, I'll do the clothes, the other one will say, tomorrow you can give me time to rest, and let it be like that. And also to provide a clear path towards involvement. Not only leaving them to do what they want, we should also be the moderators, even in our houses and also in the churches. We learn to listen to one another, and also to help them to connect in groups. Like now, I thank God for our church. We have the Youth for Emmanuel, St. Luke, Boihoko. They can be meeting. Maybe even the church can even come up with this Sunday. Yeah, the youth from Boihoko, from St. Luke, they are the ones to conduct the service that day. And also I've spoken about volunteering, and also to invite a friend. Encourage them to invite a friend, even if it is a friend from the opposite sex, and let them stand and introduce themselves. And we'll see even weddings happening in our churches, because we fear, maybe the youths are fearing to bring a girlfriend, a boyfriend, maybe a fiancé. You encourage them to come to our church, and they're invited, and we appreciate them. And also to encourage them to give, to donate. Maybe they don't have the finances to give, but they can give their time. They can come even clean up the compound. They can do any other activity that is required. And I think this is a way we are going to encourage our youth to be with us. Because it is not only finances that is so important. It is important, I'm not disputing that, but also giving their time, like the way our youth have done today, just giving your time. And also even to go and visit other youths who are not coming to church, the way the deacons are supposed to be doing. Maybe a church member has not been coming to church, and maybe you have a youth who has not been coming to church. It is important. We encourage them to go and look for that, and they can hear what the problem is, and we can bring back them to the house of the Lord. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Now, one day when Jesus was teaching, and he said, in my Father's land, the harvest is ripe. But the only thing that was lacking in that land is the people, the workers in that church. Now, in terms of encouragement to the youth, that we have a lot to do in the church. They quite a lot. As you heard Madam Agiguyo, she has said, she's elaborated, quite a lot of things that young people can participate in the church. And also, as the panelists have said, there are quite a lot of things that the church needs to change in terms of how youth can be be part and parcel of what the fellowship has become in the church. And for that matter, we'll come to the end of our discussion today. I want to thank you so much for your input into this. In the book of Ephesians, it's talking about bringing up the children, our children and our young people in the way that they should grow. And when they grow up, they'll never forget what they are taught. So it's also the responsibility of the parents back there at home, the church and the society, that they should encourage the young person to be active in the church activities. So, as we come up to, I said earlier, this is our program, our focus program, Emmanuel Youth, where we're going to encourage more youth and we're going to have this much more. We're going to invite you more. Thank you very much, Madam and Paul, for that. We're going to invite you more to elaborate to other discussions that are going to assist us in the youth program in the church and also holistically to assist the youth to become together. So thank you very much for that, and hope the Lord is going to bless you as a young person and understand that this church belongs to you, and also whatever you do it for the glory of God. Thank you, and my name is Moses Gidinji. Thank you. See you again.